Milwaukee Brewers, again, 3.5-game lead in the Central Division in the National League. Again, they are 3-time defending division champs. They take on the Cardinals. Again, a 1-2 punch. They've had great pitching before, but seeing Kyle Harrison right after the Miz, Jacob Misiorowski, that's impressive. Big, easy win last night for the Brewers, and they're back at it, 1:40 Eastern against the Cardinals this afternoon. Front Office Insights are presented by Sage. We welcome in the president of baseball operations for the Milwaukee Brewers, Matt Arnold. Matt, it's Brian Kenny. Congratulations on the season so far.
Hey, Brian, appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
It's great having you. We've been talking about you in a lot of different ways. I first want to ask you, again, you're the 3-time defending division champ. You jump up. You got a nice little lead right now. We've shown payroll before. Let me throw this in there. You're 20th out of 30, actually moved up a little bit. But the Mets and Dodgers, just to let fans know, they have $200 million more to spend. So, Matt, how do you guys do it? In a wide question, but how do you guys do it?
Man, it's a team effort, honestly. Like, we spend a lot of minutes in scouting and player development. That's what it's about for us, and I love those spaces. And we got a great group of people involved with all of those. And once they get here, you get in the hands of Pat Murphy and our coaches that do a fantastic job just getting the most out of everybody. So it really is a team effort. You
know, Matt, this week we showed the benefits of continuity. Four of the 6 division leaders are in the bottom third of payroll, and most of those teams have incredible stability and continuity. Chris Antonetti of the Guardians, 28 years with the club. David Forrest, 27 years with the A's. Eric Neander, 20 years. He was an intern with the Rays. You were with the Rays. Now you have 11 years with the Brewers. So you tell me, what are the benefits of having that type of stability?
Yeah, it means the world to me. Honestly, like, having the support of our ownership, like Mark Attanasio and his family, is incredible, because, you know, a lot of people want to hire our people, and again, just the ability to maintain our staff and have a great group of people to partner with. I was with the Rays for almost 10 years there, and to be here for 11 seasons here is it's honestly honoring, and it's a humble thing for me to be a part of an incredible group.
Matt, what was it like? We were just talking to Joe Madden about this, who's with us every week, about being with the Rays, and like at the interns table, there has to be 5 or 6 future president of baseball operations there, including yourself. What was it like in those days with the Rays as a low-level staffer moving up?
Yeah, I learned a lot from all those guys, starting with Andrew Friedman and all the guys over there. Even Chaim Bloom, who's running the Cardinals now, is just a dear friend of mine. And Eric and James Click and Rocco Baldelli. There were so many people there that I was able to partner with, and just loved working with all of them, and really enjoyed all the minutes I was able to spend with them. And frankly, just learning from all of them in so many different ways was really helpful in my career.
It's an incredible group. It's an incredible story. Matt, last night, 8th inning, we talked about at the top of the show, Abner Uribe, your relief pitcher. What's your view of that incident last night?
Yeah, look, Abner plays with a ton of emotion, and that's why we love him. You know, he's a fiery guy on the mound, and look, he addressed what he did last night, and you know, we'll leave it at that. But you know, honestly, one of the things that I love about Abner is that he wants to defend his guys, and you know, we have a really tight group in there, and I think the thing that stands out most for me is that the guys care about each other. I think that's what resonated for me most with that situation.
You know, Pat Murphy actually, you know, obviously spoke to him right then and there. As the lead executive, do you speak to Abner at some point?
Yeah, I'll let Murph handle that stuff. He does a great job managing the clubhouse and the team, and I know Murph addressed it. And again, I feel like these types of situations just show how close the team is, because really, you know, it's an emotional game, and Abner is who he is, and I think the emotion makes him great, and that's why we love him.
Will there be any club action then, or you think he learns just from being, you know, talked to by his manager?
Yeah, I'll talk with Murph about that, but I anticipate, you know, Abner's a guy that's going to learn from this and grow from it.
Okay. Talk about a major trade that you had. How did you target Kyle Harrison? It was a big trade with the Red Sox. He's an ace right now. How did you target him? What did you see in him?
Yeah, Kyle's been a guy that's been on our radar for a while. He's a really talented player and a humble kid that works hard. And you know, one of the things when I first talked to him, when we got him, he was just looking for a chance, you know, and to his credit, he ran through the door guns blazing, you know, and he's quietly been, you know, one of the best pitchers in baseball, honestly, and that's just a huge credit to him. He got the opportunity, he ran with it, and I'm so thrilled for him.
You say that, but how much did you lab him up? Meaning, how much did you going to your pitching lab and finding certain things that work?
Yeah, it's a combination of you know, the guys that are involved with acquiring these players, and then obviously you hand them over to guys like Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, Juan Sandoval, all the guys that are involved with our pitching program, they do just a fantastic job getting the most out of these guys. And again, I trust those guys to do everything they can to do a great job, and they have been doing it for years, and I'm very thankful to work with that group.
So speaking of the lab, here's Jacob Misiorowski, sits 100, perceived velocity 102. How much lab work do you do? Let me just ask that. How much lab work do you do with him, or is that just him? Did he come with that? Did that get developed?
Yeah, again, it's a guy that had all the ingredients, coming out in the draft. Credit to Drew Anderson and his guys for identifying him at Crowder, going even back further to identifying somebody like Aaron Ashby at the same school. Our scouts did an incredible job, and Miz is a fantastic kid. He's a great worker, and honestly, he had all these ingredients, and he's just continued to work his tail off. And I'm so thrilled for him because he's done the work to put himself in a position to be a Cy Young candidate, and I'm just thrilled for him.
No question. And look at this. Most pitches 102 and harder. Now, I mean, we know a lot of guys who throw that hard, usually the top velo leaders, eventually they run into some issue. Do you have a philosophy on maximum velo or dialing it back? What is the team philosophy on that, especially with the guy who is the #1 hard thrower in the league?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just let it rip. He's a talented kid, and I'll let Miz and the coaches decide sort of what that looks like. But he's become a pitcher, that already had elite stuff, and it's become even better. And now the fact that he's just learning how to pitch at this level is just really exciting to watch.
Another thing I want to get in, you have always a lot of nice little players all around, and you guys are more than the sum of your parts. But Bryce Terang has taken a star turn. What's your take on Bryce Terang and where he is now?
Yeah, Bryce is a special kid. He loves the game. His dad was a big leaguer. He comes from a big league family. We drafted him in the first round for a reason and love the talent there. But he's put in all the work, and a credit to him because he's not just one of the best second basemen in baseball. I think he's one of the best players in baseball. And just a really good person, becoming a leader right in front of our eyes here. And, just a really fun player to watch. He's been awesome.
Yeah, you see the OPS plus jumping up when he goes from 86 to 120. Again, that's a serious player. It's almost a 6-win player, and now it's even higher than that. Elite fielding, base running, the whole deal. Matt, your club is great to watch on a daily basis, and we love seeing you guys work. Continued success, and thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you, Brian. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.